Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the set squad for Barcelona for the rest of this season. We're also going to be talking about what's currently going on in the league and speak about the brand new format of the Champions League, because Barcelona have been drawn with Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, two teams that has had Lewandowski before and a team that Hansi Flick has coached before, and that is Bayern Munich. So there is plenty to discuss for today's video, and I do want to begin with this. A couple of hours ago, we just witnessed Las Palmas tie against Real Madrid. Real Madrid currently do have 3 matches played and 5 points. If you guys are wondering why I continue to speak about Real Madrid, it's not because I hate Real Madrid or because I have an agenda against Real Madrid. I mainly speak about this team because this is the perfect example on why I continue to say that when Barcelona is united, when they are strengthened, when they have a team that has a set plan, they know where they want to go, they know how they want to play, Barcelona is unstoppable. And if not unstoppable, then just call it the best team in La Liga. And that's basically it. Yes, it's possible for Barcelona to lose their focus in the next match and lose points. Of course it is. This is football. But as long as we continue in this route, no team in the league can stop us. I've also stated before, it does not matter if a team has all the stars in the world. If you cannot make them click, it does not matter. Like, have you guys not learned what happened with PSG? How many Champions Leagues did PSG win with a front three of Neymar, Messi, and Kylian Mbappe? How many? Tell me. Yes, of course they won so many Farmers Leagues, but did they win the Champions League? No, of course they did not, because it does not matter what stars you have. What matters is what type of coach do you have that can get the best out of your squad. And right now, Hansi Flick is getting the best out of FC Barcelona. This is the reason why I don't understand why so many YouTubers, why so many people on Twitter, why so many people on ESPN, on Mundo, and everybody in the media like to say that Barcelona are doing poorly, that it's over, that Barcelona cannot catch up against Real Madrid, that Joan Laporta is the problem, Deco's the problem. Remember who hired Hansi Flick. Remember who brought in Dani Olmo. Remember who brought in Bernal, Casado. This team that we currently have, it has been made by Hansi Flick, Deco, and Joan Laporta. And surprisingly, it has been working out, because it's not easy to make a team click. It's really not. Like, if it was that easy to make a team click, you would see Real Madrid at the top of the table with Kylian Mbappe scoring 6 to 8 goals by now with 3 games in. But no, it's difficult, and that's why you see Real Madrid dropping points. I'm not trying to shame Real Madrid. I'm not trying to say that, look, let's laugh at Real Madrid and let's hype up FC Barcelona. No, I'm not saying that. I want to give you guys more context, more understanding on why I believe that Barcelona are on the right path and why Barcelona will do very well this season. There is no reason for us, for any of the Barcelona fans, to attack Joan Laporta or Deco. It does not make no sense at all. Why do you continue to say that Deco and Joan Laporta are liars, that they told us they're going to be able to sign players like this? Look, the reason why Joan Laporta said that they are able to sign players like Nico Williams, it is because it's true. It is true. You are allowed to say something like that when you know that you are bringing in 900 million euros a year or 850 million euros a year per season, but the only thing that is stopping you from signing big time players, it is because of the league. Barcelona have done what they did in this past summer. They have done everything. Barcelona is still one of the top income generating teams in the world, and in the top 2 best income generating teams in La Liga, and that is like 150 million euros. We have reduced our wage bill by 200 million euros. We have sold so many players, and you want to still say that the reason why Barcelona is so trash is because of Joan Laporta and Deco. Understand your enemy. Understand the situation. And to the people, right, who have Barcelona channels, please understand where Barcelona was at before and who we are today and how well we are currently doing sportingly. There's no reason to bash on this team. Of course, the transfer window was trash. Of course, we were supposed to sign Nico Williams, Zubimendi, Joshua Kimmich, Mikel Merino, all of these players, right? It was going to be beautiful. But because we have been limited, restricted, this is the reason why we cannot do anything, and why the people who don't follow Barcelona as closely, like those random fans from Arsenal, Liverpool, City, wherever, right? They call Barcelona broke. They call Barcelona broke, and they mock Barcelona when they don't understand what's going on. And so it's embarrassing to see that most of the Barcelona fans that have channels want to go with the exact same agenda because everybody else is saying it. Why can't you just think for yourself? Why can't you just not listen to the masses and understand the type of obstacles Joan Laporta has to go through? If Joan Laporta and Deco signed a player that cost 60 to 80 million euros, for example, let's just say it was Joshua Kimmich, or let's just say it was Liao, and they end up being trash and they can't fit at Barcelona, we can't find a way for this player to fit, then we can say, okay, this is Laporta's fault, this is Deco's fault, because that is how it was back in 2017, 18, 19, 20. That is the reason why many of us do hate Bartomeu today, is because you bought those players, Griezmann, Dembele, Coutinho, and they never ended up justifying their price tag. And the same thing has to apply today. Like, how are you going to critique Deco and Joan Laporta when they cannot even bring the players in the first place for us to judge in the first place? And so, listen, this is going to be the strongest 11 that I think we could place this season when everybody is healthy. And I do see that this team bringing us great results, positive results. The chemistry between all of these players is going to be amazing. And I hope that we can field an 11 like this by the time we do head towards towards January 2025. It's Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, Balde, with our double pivot being Frankie, Pedri, and our attackers being Lamine Yamal, Olmo, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. Just to give you guys some quick updates, yes, there is still about 14 hours left for this transfer window to close, but Barcelona are not going to be signing any more players. It's over. The whole thing about Stefan going to Salzburg, it's over. Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen is not going to move away from that team. He's not going to Bayern. He's not going to FC Barcelona. It's over. This is Barcelona's team, and I just think that with, again, an 11 like this is very positive, very technical, and the backups are really decent. We have Hector Fort to back up Koundé, Kubarsi to back up Araujo, Inigo Martinez to back up Christensen, and Gerard Martin to back up Balde. I trust Casado to be backing up Pedri because he's much more of an 8 than a 6, which is the reason why I put him behind Pedri. Gavi and Eric are almost the same thing. I just think that Gavi is more self-aware on who he is and how well he is and how confident of a player he is, which is why I think that Gavi would be the second choice to Frankie. If Frankie ever gets injured, or he wants to let his guard down, or if he wants to have bad games, which has been happening, then Gavi is going to be taking his place, and we can field an 11 that it contains Gavi, Pedri, and Olmo. Or let's just say Olmo's not doing well. Let's just say that he has a good 10 to 12 match run. He ends up dropping his level. Then we can have Gavi next to Frankie and then push Pedri up top to play as a 10 for Dani Olmo. And then you do have the other alternatives like Fermin Lopez and Pablo Torre, who can always back us up in the number 10 position. A lot of you guys have been claiming, Kevin, no, Barcelona is stupid because, you know, they let go of Gundogan. I mean, like, look at how many alternatives and substitutions we have in the number 10 or number 8 positions. We do not need Gundogan, okay? What we need are more 6s. Gundogan is not a number 6. So letting go of Gundogan makes complete sense within the context of what Barcelona have today. We need more number 6s, not more number 8s or number 10s. On the flanks, we have Ansu Fati to back up Rafinha. Hopefully, Ansu Fati has something to say this season. There has been multiple reports about Ansu Fati claiming that Barcelona's transfer window is done. And yes, Ansu Fati is going to be very much relied on. And his return is getting very close. Most likely, he is going to be returning after the international break. And Hansi Flick has a lot of hope for him. So we could expect to see Ansu Fati get some minutes on the left flank, with Ferran Torres being the backup to Lamine Yamal, because we have no backup to Lamine Yamal. So might as well just put Ferran Torres on there. And then in the striker position, we have Lewandowski and then Pau Victor to be the backup to him. Pau Victor can also play on the right wing for Lamine Yamal. You get the whole point. Now, could this team be stronger? Yes, of course. I mean, Barcelona had targets. We had Bernal also, but now he's going through an ACL injury. We almost signed Nico Williams, but Nico Williams just doesn't feel confident signing with us, and that's okay. If you don't want to sign with us, that's fine. And to the Barcelona fans who want to say, oh yeah, Nico Williams rejected you guys, I go for Nico Williams FC, and then go support Nico Williams and Athletic Club, and don't come back over here and support Barcelona, please. Okay, like, done. Shush, bye. As for the other alternatives like Mikel Merino, that was never going to happen, even with Bernal emerging, right? Of course, Mikel Merino was going to end up somewhere else. We also thought that we were going to be able to sign Zubimendi, Joshua Kimmich. Not going to happen. Zubimendi did not even want to go to Liverpool. He wanted to stay at Real Sociedad. Joshua Kimmich is very much not being looked at anymore because of the emergence of Casado, who replicates Joshua Kimmich and Bernal. And we have Jules Koundé, who is like the best right back in the world right now. So it makes no sense for us to ever go for Joshua Kimmich. And then, of course, you have Dani Olmo. We have achieved it. Nico Williams, not going to be here. Like I've said, Xavi Simons was also eyed on a couple of months ago, but we don't know his situation. I don't know if he's fine with being at his current lonely team or just staying at PSG. We'll see. Barcelona were looking to sign a backup striker in case Vitor Roque did leave. That was the whole plan last month, and Vitor Roque did leave, and we do have a backup striker, which is Pau Victor, who has been chosen after Vitor Roque. There was also talks about Barcelona signing a left back when Hansi Flick first came in. I don't know if you guys remember, but we were trying to get Grimaldo and like some other left backs, but that never ended up happening. Gerard Martin is the definitive one. So if you look at the 11 that Barcelona were supposed to have by this point, and let's just say that, you know, Javier Tebas gave us less restrictions and Barcelona had the capacity to sign whoever they wanted to sign, this most likely would have been the 11 that Hansi Flick wanted since he first entered the club. It would have been the same backline, Christensen, Araujo, Koundé, and Balde, with our double pivot being Zubimendi and Pedri, Olmo as the 10 with Nico Williams on the left wing position, Lamine Yamal on the right, Lewandowski up top. It's a 11 that I think Barcelona were really aiming for. It seems very realistic because it does resemble Spain in a sense, because you have Balde, Pedri, Zubimendi, Olmo, Lamine Yamal, and Nico Williams. That's basically the Spanish national team that won the Euros last summer. So in terms of what we have now and what we were supposed to do this summer, but because Javier Tebas said, no, I don't care, no, get out of here, right? Javier Tebas just said, Barca trash, Real Madrid, get Kylian Mbappe, get Endrick, get whoever you guys want. So because there is a huge difference between what we were supposed to have and what we have today, I'm just going to say that this transfer window was a 4 out of 10. Now, because I rate this transfer window a 4 out of 10, that does not mean that I am not satisfied with the 11 that we have today and with the squad that we have today with all of our players healthy. It does not mean that. I am completely satisfied with this team. This team is good enough to achieve results. There's a reason why Barcelona are in first place in La Liga with 9 points. Villarreal is second. Celta Vigo is in third place. Yes, it's very early in the league. Yes, you guys may say, Kevin, it's too early. Shut up, please. You're speaking too early. Like something can happen tomorrow. Barcelona might go through another injury and Barcelona might lose points. Nope, I don't think so. I think that when you start strong, you build momentum from there. It's not easy to be starting strong. Like I've said, Real Madrid with Mbappe, with Vini, with Endrick, with Bellingham. I mean, he was injured, but that's besides the point. Camavinga, Tchouaméni. When you have so many stars in your team, you're supposed to have 7 to 9 points by this time. How do you make excuses on top of this? And the worst thing from all of this is that tomorrow we're not going to hear a single report about, wow, Ancelotti, a coach that can't get the best out of these stars, he needs to be fired. Should he be letting go of in January? We're not going to be hearing stories about that. If this was Barcelona, if we signed some stars and we under-delivered and we were in 5th place today, do you know how many reports from Mundo Deportivo and Sport and whoever would be saying today that Barcelona is trash, that Barcelona is finished, that this is the reason why Real Madrid is the best team in the world and Barcelona is not? Just let it go. Let it go, please. All the people that work in the media, all the people that have Barcelona accounts, let it go and support your team. Stop being toxic. Stop acting like a kid. You're not 10. You guys are all over the age of 20 years old. Please back your team. You have influence in the media. All the YouTubers, you guys all have influence. Please say the correct things. Understand where Barcelona was at a couple of years ago and where we are today. Just because we don't have an 11 that we were supposed to get right, that was supposed to contain Zubimendi, Nico Williams, and other players, does not mean that this team cannot compete today. Hansi Flick has the capacity to upgrade all players, and we see that. We see that with Dani Olmo. He's already clicking with most of the players in Barcelona, and that's not normal. You guys may see it like if it's normal, but it's not normal. It's not normal for a player to just come in immediately and connect with the team. If it was that easy, Marc Gui would have scored a couple of goals with Chelsea by now. If it was that easy, Kylian Mbappe would have scored 5 to 8 goals by now with Real Madrid, with Bellingham and Camavinga behind him. If it was that easy, Julian Alvarez would have had 4 to 5 goals right now with Atletico Madrid, but he's finding it tough to adapt to the team. Understand what Barcelona's doing here. Have some context. Look at the other teams. Barcelona's doing wonderfully so far. So now let's move on towards the next conversation, and now let's talk about the Champions League, right? This is very interesting because Barcelona have been drawn with Bayern Munich, Atalanta, Young Boys, Brest. No, it's not boobs, it's Brest. From the country that they are from, that does not mean boobs or titties or any of that. They're called Brest. So we have Dortmund, Benfica, we have Vesda and Monaco. I don't know if I said Vesda correctly, but it's my first time seeing that team. Welcome, whoever this team is. I'm happy that you guys are over here joining us because I know that you guys are new overall in the Champions League, but welcome. I hope you guys do end up achieving the results that you guys do want. But it's very interesting because we have been drawn with Bayern Munich and Dortmund, two teams that we are very familiar with. Dortmund, right, has had Lewandowski before. Lewandowski, I ask you for one thing, please, just please, do not help your former teams. Please score goals against Dortmund. When you face Bayern Munich as well, please score goals against Bayern. I remember back in 2022 when we had Lewandowski in our team in the first 2 or 3 months and we had to face Bayern and he did not score any goals. He missed so many chances and we were all like, come on dude, like why do you want to help your former team? Why are you trying to play for Bayern instead of FC Barcelona? It makes no sense. Please, like forget about that. It's over. So now Lewandowski, this is your second chance. We're facing Bayern, we're facing Atalanta. Let's get the goals in. And so far Lewandowski has been doing well, by the way. So many of you guys have been questioning what this new format is all about because like many have been questioning like, hey Kevin, why is there so many teams in this group? Aren't we supposed to be playing with only 3 other teams and not a total of 8 teams in one group? So let me explain. The Champions League is introducing a new format called the Swiss model this season. They are replacing the old 8 groups of 4 format. So instead of the group phase that we were at before, now we do have something called the league phase. All teams are basically placed into one large table, aka the Super League. No one wants to talk about that, right? But yeah, every team is placed in one large table, but they don't play every other team. So the number of participating teams has increased by 32 to 36 total teams. Each team will play 8 matches in the first phase against 8 different opponents depending on the draw. For us, once again, it was Atalanta, Young Boys, Brest, Vesda, Monaco, Benfica, Dortmund, and Bayern. And that is what we are going to be doing instead of the previous 6 matches total and facing 3 opponents home and away. There's going to be a total of 189 matches instead of 125, so there is an increase that does accumulate towards the final in Munich on May 31st, 2025. The reason why the UEFA built this competition is to aim to make the competition in a more competitive form by having more bigger teams in one group and they can face each other earlier, which makes the competition more attractive. So after the league phase, right, the top 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. So the top 8 teams with the most points in this big ass table will be going to the knockout rounds. Hopefully Barcelona can get that. Barcelona have to win every match to get into the top 8. They have to, right? So there is no resting. There is no, okay, if we win this game, it does not matter. We'll still end up in first place. That does not exist. We must win every match. And for the rest of the teams that do finish between 9th and 24, once again, in this big ass table, they will enter a new set of 2-legged playoffs to determine the spots in the 16-team knockout rounds. So the teams in the top 8 are safe to go into the next round, but the teams between 9 and 24 will be going to the playoffs, and that is going to be the knockout round. And the teams below 24 all the way down to 36, they're knocked out automatically, terminated, done. And no, Barcelona do not have to play home and away for every team that they have within this group. We're playing Bayern only once and Barcelona will be home. We're playing Dortmund only once and Barcelona will be away. We're playing Atalanta only once and Barcelona will be home. We're playing Benfica only once and Barcelona will be away. Then we play Young Boys just one time and Barcelona will be home. We play Red Star only once and Barcelona will be away. And then lastly, the last two, Barcelona will be home against Brest for just one game and then one match against Monaco and Barcelona will be away. I know it's strange, but it's going to take, I would say, maybe 2 more years for us to get used to this because it is very complicated. I understand. The whole point of this is to increase the amount of attracting games very early in the Champions League, aka the Super League. They just don't want to call it that. And so that is it. I cannot wait to see Barcelona face all these teams in the Champions League, but I do want to say one more thing, right? I want Barcelona to prioritize La Liga before anything else. Like, yes, I know that it sounds great to defeat Bayern, Dortmund, whatever, Benfica. They're all going to be tough. Atalanta is going to be very tough. We don't know how Young Boys are going to be approaching us, but I assume that these teams are going to be coming in with their all. I understand, but we have to prioritize La Liga. We have to. It would make no sense for us to drop points in La Liga, end up in 2nd or 3rd place, and then we get knocked out in the Champions League, like in the semifinals. And then what do you have? What do you have? You have to now you have to climb on top of Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid, like in March or something crazy like that, and we'll be screwed. Like, no, prioritize La Liga. Make sure that you get as many points as you can in La Liga because we want to win it. We are the kings of La Liga, and then comes the Champions League. Do not let your guard down anytime between right now and until January. Maybe after January and in February, then yes, go all in the Champions League. Go all in. Bring your greatest starting 11, your strongest like 11. Who cares? Go all in. But for sure, do not let your guard down right now. Okay, we have a huge advantage with Real Madrid losing points right now, and so I do trust that Hansi Flick will do well with the squad. It could have been stronger, of course. It could have been stronger, right? We could have been a Chelsea today, where Chelsea was able to spend like what 200 million euros in one summer with no problem. We could have been Arsenal. We could have been City. We could have been whatever. PSG just signing a player every other day with no problem. Everything's relaxed. Everything is chill. Just get a blunt, smoke it, relax. Let's get this player, that player. But with Barcelona, no, we don't have that. We don't have that type of luxury within this league that Javier Tebas likes to run. But I do think that this team will fight for it all. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.